But I feel this, like, I don't know if the word is responsibility or like just desire to express to other women how much of a lie this all is. It is the biggest lie that I bought into. I've bought into many lies. I've fallen for things hook, line, and sinker. You name it. And so many of my worst fears have come true, and they were not even half as horrible as I imagined they would be. I often found facing fears. I found facing fears that they were oftentimes, strangely enough, they ended up being pivotal moments in my life. I know everyone hates lessons and learning, but pivotal moments of lessons and learning and growth and maturity. But like, more importantly, what happens when you face fears is like you find this inner peace within, because you discover you are indestructible, invincible, this eternal presence having a human experience. Like, it's really very beautiful. But so I had all kinds of fears of life, that I've had to face. Because why did I have to face that? Well, because life was lifing, but also because I have lived a unique life. I've lived a different life, kind of outside the box. I have done things differently than, society, family, friends, thought was best for me. And I am happy for it. I have no regrets. There's absolutely nothing in my life that I've been through, done, or experienced that I even regret anymore. I just can't. So let's get to aging. I don't talk about my age. I don't ask people their age. I don't think age is relevant for anything in life that I am doing. You might be able to confuse. You guys have to understand, I have authority to speak on this because everything I do in life is involving the aesthetic. Okay, I create content on the internet. All right, that's about what you look like. I'm a curve model. That's what you look like. I'm a bartender. I've been a bartender in New York City, now in Las Vegas. It's extremely superficial. People claim that you get hired based off of your looks alone half the time as a female bartender. Okay. I have been a professional singer my entire life up until the last couple years when I started doing other things. Everything I have ever done was totally focused on my looks. There was a huge emphasis in my mind, I thought, on my age. People always say, if you want to be a singer or an actress or a model, lie about your age. And people have told me to lie about my age. And I never have lied about my age, but I don't like to discuss it or bring it up. It's so boring and it's irrelevant. And I do not ask people how old they are. I literally, as long as I know you're a grown adult, as long as I know that you are a grown adult and over 21, I will treat you with adult respect. And that's that. So I think, I made age irrelevant. When people ask me my age, I joke around about it, or I'll divert the question. Sometimes I'll joke and be forever 21 and just change the subject. I think it should be illegal to ask people how old they are on auditions or job interviews because, we want to rid our society of ageism. Anyway, what I am simply trying to say is that these are limiting beliefs that we as a collective, as women, have bought into. And I have come to find that as you dissect your limiting beliefs, you feel them, you heal them, you let them go. They don't have power over you anymore. So, for example, because I've been in such superficial areas of life to make a living and put food on my table, I've had to face these beliefs, and they have not impacted me at all. I have gotten every single job, gig, or experience I've ever wanted, irregardless of my age. And most of the time they never asked my age before hiring me. In terms of society, and just the practical side of aging, it isn't something you have to do, though many people choose to do. There's lots of reasons for it, you guys, but there are literally, I know it's there are literally people that are senior citizens, technically, that look amazing. They have healthy bodies. They look amazing. They're not wrinkled or anything like that. They have defied aging. And I find that it is a choice that you can make if you do not want to age. So there are very practical things you can do, don't smoke your life away. I have met so many 20-somethings that look older than my freaking mom, with their gums and teeth practically rotting out, wrinkles everywhere because they smoke constantly. Practical things. You do not have to smoke, and you do not have to drink to excess. and I live a pretty sober lifestyle. I drink a little and, here and there, I'm open-minded to trying things, but for the most part, girl, you're not going to see me smoking cigarettes and weed and vaping, stuff like that. So there are practical things you can do. You can save and buy nice skincare, which actually really impacts your skin. Like if you're lucky and you have good genetics, like if you're a darker skinned person, you're going to have good genetics on your side. Everybody knows that about aging, so take advantage of it. But even me, I'm fair skinned and my skin tone is kind of a mix of like rosy pink and yellowish. I'm kind of a mixed skin tone. I can tan pretty good and I can look pretty but white too. So I can go any which way. I have kind of a versatile skin tone, but I've made the very best of my skin tone. And so I use really good skincare. You can use things like tretinoin, which are like miracles. They're not expensive, just a miracle little cream that you can put on your face. And you know what? Since I started using tretinoin, I don't think my skin's ever looked so good. This practical stuff, keeping your body in a way that you prefer. This is not to push anything on anyone. You don't have to be skinny if you don't want to be. You don't have to be curvy. You don't have to be anything. But just like developing the kind of body you want, like you can do that. If a person should want to get things like plastic surgery or a facelift or something, I'm all for it. It's not something that I am looking to do at this point, but I don't know if, 10 years passed and I felt like in some way I felt I needed to do it, girl, I would do it. I would get a facelift. But at this point, it's not even like on my agenda. Why? Because I don't smoke. I am very moderate in my drinking. I use really good skincare. I apply my tretinoin most nights of the week. I work on a healthy lifestyle, a healthy body. Like it just hasn't been something I've needed to do. So I've just come to find that like I look in society, I'm like, why is it that this person looks like so old and this person of the same age looks so young? All I can come up with is that different people manifest different things. Not everybody wants to be hot and gorgeous. No one whatever, people stop complaining, but there are downsides to it, to constantly being the center of attention because you're so beautiful and stuff. Trust me, there's a lot of people that don't want that. There's not everybody wants to have romantic relationships anymore or children and stuff. So people can manifest a certain look for themselves in their skin, their body, etc. And I'm not one to judge. All I know is that we are the avatars we've created. I can tell you that much. That whether you think I'm beautiful or not, I've created this avatar and it's because I want it. I wouldn't trade my body, my face, nothing for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the world. There's no human I've ever looked at and been like, oh my God, I wish I could look like them. I get inspiration from other humans that I think are beautiful, but it's inspiration in a positive way. It's like, well, if I really like that, I could do it. I could manifest it somehow, some way. So that's all I can say is aging is not something today in today's society with the miracle creams we have, plastic surgeries, just all this stuff that we have available to us. You actually do not have to age. It's a choice, and you might decide you don't care, and you might decide you prefer to look a certain way, but you don't technically have to age. I want to break apart a few other limiting beliefs about aging. I think it's important for me to share my experience. Now, again, although I don't care about my age or really talk about it, and it's very boring and irrelevant, just for the sake of this video, I am technically middle-aged. Okay, whatever you guys can guess, what is middle age? 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s or something like that. So, I'm just sharing that. I'm not embarrassed of my age. It's obviously there's lots of people that know my age because they've known me for a long time. Technically people can look up my age. It's not that. It's just, it's irrelevant to me. And yes, I have often found myself in places where I was working in a certain capacity and maybe I was the only person in this age range. Everybody else was in their 20s. That's happened to me a lot. But I attribute that to the fact that I get hired for this shit with no questions asked, despite the fact that I'm a middle-aged woman, because I consider age irrelevant. I don't make it a big deal. I don't talk about it. And I don't ask you yours because I apply the principles of manifestation. I believe we live in an avatar and we can create it. So I've created an avatar for myself that regardless of what people think, say, or do, I like. If I don't like it, I would change it. If I didn't like my dark hair, I would dye it. If I wanted to get a fucking facelift, I would do it. If I anything I want to do, I either have done or would do. So the point I'm trying to make is like, I'm not here to please everybody or this, that, and the third, but like, I think I have truly lived a lifetime of like defying this limiting belief. The other thing, you guys, is like people have a lot of limiting beliefs about like your worthiness and your attractiveness in the world, as if like the only time you're ever worthy and attractive is like when you're in your 20s or something. Here's the thing, you guys, is that like people go for what they think they can get and what they think they can handle. And what happens is, as a woman gets older, she develops a stronger, more powerful aura, essence, and vibe. She knows herself better. If she's, doing the inner work, she will love herself more. And so she's harder to access. And I think it was Sharon Stone that said this. She's an actress for many years, for decades, like really famous actress. But Sharon Stone, I think she said something to the effect of, the men and the attention like from society never stopped coming. I still get like, hollered at, I'm paraphrasing. She's like, I still get tons of attention. It's just that I'm not willing to pay much attention. Like it requires more to get her attention. And people know that. So when you are aging and you are loving yourself more, you are knowing yourself better, you are valuing yourself, you are able to be alone if you need to be. Like people start to pick up on this vibe that you're not just going to accept anything. You aren't going to accept abuse. You expect people to come the fuck correct. And so what ends up happening is as you start to age, you look back on like your teens and your 20s. For me, like the stuff that I put up with or was impressed with or whatever back then is like stuff that I just wouldn't even deal with now. So that's what I'm saying is like, you guys, I'm just like, I know I sound so conceited to say this. The men never stopped coming for me, girl. Never. I mean, if anything, if I was to be brutally honest, I have way more men that are pursuing me or liking me or trying to date me or whatever, trying to marry me, shit like that. That has increased with age. So it has gotten more with age. At the same time, my expectations have gone up. Access to me is even harder to get, stuff like that. Like to get a date with me, you really got to fucking show up right, or else I'm not going, because I'd rather just stay home and watch Hallmark Channel, or like do my skincare routine or figure out how to like fucking make more money or something. Like, so it takes more to get access to me. But I have found what Sharon Stone said to be very, very true. So it is the biggest lie I ever heard, which was like, at 29, you're done. Nobody's going to want you more. Everybody's going to want you. And if you're doing it right, you're taking good care of yourself, you're healthy, and you are having a positive, like a good mindset about yourself, there just will always be a line out your door of suitors and people that want to date you, be your friend, whatever it might be. Will you take part in that? Maybe you won't, it depends. But, and so it can seem sometimes like girls in their 20s are the only ones getting any ass or any attention, but it's because they are more accessible. Like, I'm just telling you, you will look back on your life, and for younger gals, and you will realize like you were just more accessible in your 20s. You were more accepting. You said yes to more offers, but you will come to find through the different decades of your life that the attention was always there. The love was always there. This is the thing too, you guys, is that beauty comes in so many different forms, and you will find yourself morphing into different kinds of beauty throughout different seasons of your life. For a long time, I was kind of just like a cutesy beauty, kind of like a little bit of a kitten and like cute and kind of like relatable and approachable. And as I went through like some more things in my life that really kind of changed me, like maybe over the past like 5 or 6 years, I became a different kind of beauty. I became a lot like hotter and more of like a bad bitch. And like people started calling me like a hot girl, and guys that would take me on dates would just be like, you're so hot. Like I was never described as hot when I was like in my 20s, like younger, never. So I just realized like that I was changing, like I was developing different aspects of myself, and it was showing through in my looks. And so there is such a thing as like, just different types of beauty, and you will embody that as you change and you grow in your personality and things like that. I just had to make this video because I'm just so like, it's just the biggest lie ever, which is like literally you lose your value with time. People that do the inner work, they love themselves, they take good care of themselves, they embrace the changes of life, man or woman, they are truly fine wine. They truly are. It is, you can be 60 years old and just a total stunner, a total queen, able to get any man she wants, able to have any experience or job she wants. You can be a middle-aged woman and you wake up and you're in these worlds where like everyone around you is 20 something and you're like the head bitch in charge because yeah, you have the beautiful look and you're gorgeous, but like you've got the personality, the life experience, the confidence. Like my thing was, I always told myself like, I want to be as mature as a grandma. I want to be timeless, and in my personality, I want to be wise and I want to be mature. I want to be as mature as 100-year-old woman. And in my look, I always told myself, I want to be like youthful and beautiful and healthy and, curvy and all this kind of stuff. And I feel that I've embodied that. I feel that I have created that manifestation on this planet. I feel like I'm literally like 100 years old in my spirit. I'm a wise woman. And I feel like people start to guess my age more when I open my fucking mouth. Because they're like, if I don't say anything and I'm just quiet, and I just kind of walk around, I get carded every time I drink. People call me miss. People call me young lady. Like they refer to me like I'm like this young person, like younger, And then when I start to talk, people are like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, queen. Heard. Because people can tell my spirit is old. And that's exactly the way I wanted it. I wanted to be old in my spirit and timeless and healthy and youthful and curvy and beautiful in my look. And I feel that I have achieved that and am achieving that. I'm still open-minded to like changing my look as seasons change. Like I'm not married to anything. But I just wanted to like share this video because I want people to be encouraged. I want you to know like just how it really is, and how it really is not the narrative you've been given, is not the fear mongering that's been happening. How it really is not like your worst fears. And you may encounter your worst fear maybe the day you turn 40 years old. You'll be like, this is my worst fear. I can't even believe I'm here. You will come to find like it isn't that bad. It's not even bad. It's actually fabulous. It actually only gets better. Like it just has shocked me to learn like through as every year passes, I'm literally more magnetic alluring than I ever was before. Like it just doesn't stop because your vibe is so powerful and people feel your vibe and your energy. You know what I mean? So it's not like they don't see your looks and stuff like that, but it's just like feeling a woman's beautiful vibe. Like there's just nothing like it. And that's really what people are so attracted to and they fall in love with, whether you're 21 or 51, like. Anyway, I hope this helps. I hope this was like inspiring for you guys to like face this fear, to overcome this fear, to live your best life, and just to be all that you can be and make age irrelevant. Just like, don't bring it up. Make a joke of it. Change the subject. Don't ask people how old they are. It's so irrelevant.